Hello, I'm Rin, X-Wing Cardidex, or Connor, and welcome back to Paintober. This is day 11. I think I finished a whole bunch of these leathers and hides off camera. I'm wondering if I wound up just painting them while it died. I think maybe there was a power flicker or something, and so it was only 30 minutes because of that. I'm not sure, but other than that, we're painting a whole bunch of the blacks here, so which is mainly the weapons. I don't really know if there's any of the backpacks or anything that need it. I think maybe there's a few that could have it on the back of their legs even now, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that because they're quite small. It is a little bit of a pain to deal with that, so I haven't been dealing with it. Although today I did wind up actually doing highlights. I did the highlights for the green. This is the first set of highlights, which I don't remember. It might be Cabalite green. Cabalite? Hold on, I have it here. I can look at it. It is Cabalite. Yeah, Cabalite's the darker. And then Cerbite, or Seborite, as the lighter actual edge highlight. But that's a different video for a future time. Mainly the point of it was I got all of them that chunky highlight of Cabarite, so that way it will look better. And trust me, once you see it, it definitely adds quite a lot to it whenever you start getting that on the highlights and the edges and the front of the thighs, where it would kind of be nice to look at it. But otherwise, yeah, these little spots don't look half bad either. I think the black definitely helps out on it. Especially, I was actually going to, for some of them, do a Mephiston gun, but I wound up just not doing it because I didn't know what the Sororita's whole like paint scheme is for weapons other than black. So I just kind of left it as that. Otherwise, I would have. I was going to do the casing as like the Fang, which would have been kind of interesting to see because it's like that grayish blue, and then you could do a Celestial Gray as like a highlight and maybe try and do some ice stuff with it, but that's beside the point. Right now, it's just black, and I don't think any of them are going to wind up with anything too crazy from that point onward, but that's okay. I am figuring out how to do power swords and stuff. I do have a few of the colors to do so. I just haven't figured out how to do it all the way yet. And most likely, he did send a Wolf Queen, I think it is, from the set. And he said that one was mine. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that one's mine. I'm just going to paint it and give it back. If you're watching this, it's yours, but I'm going to paint it fancy and I'm going to do some experimental stuff. So if it doesn't look good, then I probably won't give it to you and I'll probably hide it away. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to just give it back because, I don't know. I don't have any use for Stormpride sisters. I don't play the game often enough to really do anything with it, I suppose. I mean, they're cool to have. I like painting, but it's just like it definitely is a time sink, and it definitely has a lot of space sink as well. But I did improve my space recently, so I think once I get a lot of these actual grays that I'm having to paint up here, and the other, I think I have like 300 minis in total that I have to actually paint from being green. Which is the goal, hopefully, then I'll have a better stored system for all that stuff, because they'll have their own little groupings, and they won't have all these boxes that are in the way and clunky and all of that bullshit. But pardon my French. I might edit that out. That's fine. Doing the gun mag here on these big, heavy blasters. I think there's like 3 of each of those. I don't know. Maybe once I paint these ones, I don't know if I'll record painting any more of them. I'll just see how many I can get done and be finished with them. Not that they're bad to paint. I actually enjoy painting them quite a lot because there's a lot of a lot of differences between them and like normal Space Marines or the Seraphon, the Tau guys that I'm starting to paint now. I just primed a whole bunch of them. So probably maybe tomorrow I'll get one of those little drones painted and I can put that one up at some point. Once I have a whole bunch of those painting videos, there's only so much that I'm going to be able to upload for Paintober that I don't know if I'll continue uploading painting videos, or at least not in the way I've done it for Paintober. Maybe a weekly, this is what I've painted, so that way I keep up with it. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out. I do want to get rid of a whole bunch of the models. Well, not rid of them, but I want to, finish up stuff that needed to be finished with, i.e. painting them, and that way I can set them aside and not have to worry about it. But it's just a time sink is the main, again, it's that main problem. I painted those highlights on all 7. I think there's 7 of them. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 of them I'm painting. I did all the highlights with 9, and that was 3 hours. Which, do that throughout the day, and then you don't really have a whole lot of time for anything else, it feels like. But, I mean, if I'm actually smart about it, I can have one miniature done in 3 hours, which is good. That one is fantastic, because then it's instantaneous almost that you have an idea and can come to a fruition, especially once I get my actual thinning ways down. I think I might be thinning stuff too much, and so it removes a whole bunch of that stickiness that the paint would naturally have to stay on stuff. And maybe the primer didn't, hit well, and so I don't know. I'm just kind of figuring out as time goes on more and more that it's a very complicated thing to do. Painting has a lot of intricacies that I didn't really ever think about until, like, I don't know, recently. I was like, oh my God, there's so much to it that I understand why people do just straight up like slap chop and spray painting minis, because it's much, much easier, much faster. I kind of like just doing brush stuff, though. I feel like there's like a certain look that it gives, even if it's a little bit rugged around the edges, but maybe that's just me. I do need to get better with my sprayer, though, since I have it. All right, but here's the end results. Is our Stormpride sisters are looking real nice with their gun casings all finished and their axes with the... I forget what that's called. It's not a Damascus, but it just has that really nice like black brace before the blade on the axes, which is really cool. I've always loved how those looked in real life whenever I've seen axes that have that style onto them. Been doing too many screamo songs, messing up my voice. Every time I paint, it looks so calm, but I'm listening. I'm singing my heart out on some of those. Some of them you can time the strokes to beats, actually. The end of the video. Thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.